Now is the time for the children's story. And yours truly is going to give you one. Still on mute? Oh, okay. No, I can tell that one. I'm not on mute anymore. That means everybody's going to be able to hear our little conversation. I was in about the 3rd grade. Now, most of you are older than that, right? How many of you can tell time? I mean on a real watch. A real watch, not one of those fake digital ones. A real watch. When I was in the 3rd grade, that was my heart's desire. I wanted a watch. I could tell time. And I had it all picked out. And for my birthday, lo and behold, I got a watch. Now, it was a man's watch. It had a rugged leather band, real rustic leather, brown leather. It had a polished bronze body with an antique platinum bezel all the way around the glass. It was just what I wanted. You know what my folks told me? Along with a watch comes a responsibility. What do you think the responsibility was? You don't know? Well, when you know what time it is, there are certain things that have to happen, right? At certain times of the day. And my folks would say, Alec, now that you have a watch, you know when to be home, right? Yeah, I know when to be home. Well, supper is at 6 o'clock. And you will need to be home by 6 o'clock. So I had about an hour, hour and a half this one day to spend some time with a friend of mine. And you know what happens when you get busy playing, having fun? What happens? Huh? The time just goes like this. And you forget all about what you're supposed to do. But I had a watch. Yeah, albeit it was a new watch, and I wasn't used to wearing a watch. But I still had the ability to know what time it was. All of a sudden, it was 6 minutes till 6. I said, I got a little bit of time. Actually, you know what I think I'll do? I think I'll give myself another half hour. And so on this watch, it had a little dial. Do you know what that little dial does? Well, you can either wind the watch so that it has lots of life, or you can pull the little stem out and you can set the time. Well, I was going to be smart. My watch said it was almost 6 o'clock. So I pulled that little stem out and I set my watch for 5:30. Now, the title to our message this morning is God is what? Did you read it? No. Well, God is whispering. how does he sometimes whisper to us? Do you think I was getting some whisperings when I set my watch back to 5:30? I think God was trying to tell me something, but I kind of shoved it away and said, no, this is what I'm going to do. So, when 5 minutes till 6 rolled around, I got up from what I was doing with my friend and I went home. And I was on time, right? According to my watch. My watch said 6 o'clock. Time for supper. My parents said, Alec, we gave you a watch. And you had a responsibility to know what time it was. What happened? And I took my watch and I said, what? It's 6 o'clock. I mean, what did I think my parents were? I can't imagine what I thought they were. Yeah, it's 6 o'clock by my watch. And they said, Alec, hand us the watch. Have I ever taken anything from you guys?
No.
Well, I was talking to Andrew and Lucas. Yeah. There have been times when my conscience has spoken to me, and that was one of the times I ignored it. And something happens when we continually ignore our consciences. The Lord is not going to speak through that conscience as easily if the corners are worn down. It becomes dulled and hardened. Fortunately, that was one of the few times I ignored my conscience. But listen today, and you will hear a little bit more about conscience later on in the message. Okay? I hope none of you ever have a desire to do that. But if you do have a desire, listen to the nudgings of what Jesus has to say to you. Okay? Okay, it's time for our children, our offering. This is for our school.